Let's talk about this man, shall we? What do you guys think? Like, hate, or indifferent? I'm really interested on the person we're going to watch today and their take on Nick. Whatever you think about Nick, whatever I think about Nick, his ideas really, because I don't know him as a person. But today I want to know what Amir Odom, if I mispronounce it, I apologize profusely, thinks about Nick. Because he titled this video reacting to the most viral Nick Fuentes clips, not the recent, the most viral. Man, I'm really interested in seeing what Amir thinks, because I've seen Amir a few times and some of his takes were quite based. He seems to be very open-minded. I'm really curious. Let's see what we got. And I'll tell you, of course, if I agree or disagree with what Nick says as well. I will say it.
Anyone that has any genuine racial hatred, we have to just say there's something wrong with you. Anyone that has any genuine racial hatred, we have to just say there's something wrong with you.
I'm a young man. My country has been stolen from me. No, it's not the Jews. No, it's not women. No, it's not blacks. It's actually really complicated. No, it isn't at all. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the fuck up. Blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part. And we would live in paradise.
In this video, we're going to be reacting to Nick Fuentes clips, and not in a gotcha kind of way, but in a genuine, just trying to understand the things he says, why people find him to be absolutely hilarious, the top clips that I've seen, clips that I honestly agree with.
Wow. So that already, I have to give him, this guy could really, I know he has 700,000 plus here, but man, did you see his lip sync? That was professional. That was professional. Does he have a TikTok? Because that's what I'm told TikToks do. The youth do on TikTok. He did a fantastic job. Already a mixed bag at the beginning. I mean, the very first thing Nick said, I have to say, that was pretty good. But then the other one was a bit like, oh. So, but he said that on some things he agrees, on some things he disagrees. I think I'm kind of similar. But I'm so curious to see how he reacts to the part about black people. I just love the way he speaks, him. Is so transparent. He really sounds like a guy that it would be fun to hang out with. I don't know if I'm the only one who, Amir, I mean. Like, he really gives that vibe, if I dare use a Gen's, whatever the heck, alpha word.
And some things to just provide more context to what he talks about and the man that he is. And like the title of this video, we're going to be debunking and help clearing, I guess, some of the lies being told about him. I'm not saying I agree with him 100% on anything.
Of course.
I don't agree with anybody 100%, but I'll always call out and point out when we're having a large group of people like this person, like Nick Fuentes, and then another large group of people saying, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. No, we finna listen to that. We are. You keep telling us to ignore this man. You keep telling us not to like him, not to listen to him. You're only pushing people to do that. And in this video, we're going to talk about why he's honestly never bothered me the damn near decade that I've known of this man. I've known of Nick Fuentes and heard about him since 2018. Like, he's always been around. He's always been on this grind. And truth be told, I feel like he's been one of the most consistent people out there. I don't know. I know a lot of people that know of him and have met him personally. They have their own beef with him or they don't have beef. All I'm here to say is that we're going to be reacting to some clips, ones that I love, some that I've never seen, and we're just going to give some real commentary to it all.
Okay, fair. The guy sounds fair. I'm interested actually to see if he agrees with something that Nick says and I don't, or if we agree with the same things and disagree with the same kind of stuff. Maybe that's how it's going to do. Because I did tell you, when Nick speaks about the kind of treatment that white people are receiving in the West, I agree with him. He's right. But then, as I know that this upsets some of you, I don't know why, but then again, he loses me with the Hitler stuff. With that being said, I want to see how he, with his own logic and reason, explains some of the things and reacts to some of the things, and I'm curious to see if we come to the same conclusions or not.
All I'm saying is minorities are really obnoxious, and they should just behave. Hispanics, speak English. Muslims, too loud with the Muslim call to prayer. Black people, speakerphone is not the default option. Put it to your head. Indoor voices.
Dude, this is why people, this is why, and a lot of these memes are intros to Nick as of lately, why so many young Gen Z people just gravitate towards this man and they find this funny. This is an actual funny reel. And if you've seen Instagram reels, you know how dark it can get, you know how crazy and decrepit it can get. This is funny. It's funny and it's real. It's true.
I will say that I've heard much worse than that. And I can see, trying to be fair here, I can see someone who has never heard of the other clip, the one that we heard at the beginning, where Nick said, if you are actually racist, there is something wrong with you. So let's imagine for a moment, which I agree, if we take that one out of context, someone never heard that and only heard the one we just watched now, I can see how some people might think this guy is racist or he hates people that are like minorities. But once you have the context of the previous message, then I'm starting to think, is he being funny? So which one is it? And so let's see what else he tells us. Let's go. I mean, the fact that a lot of Hispanics don't learn English is true. As someone who had to pick up English myself as a second language, it is true. So there's nothing racist with that statement. Why are you not subscribed? What do you need me to do? Dress up like Vega to get you to subscribe? Subscribe.
And I will tell you this as plainly as possible.
Okay.
I don't want to live around black people. I just don't. It would be irresponsible if I had a wife and kids to live near black people. It just would be.
Hear me out. I'm gonna find this reel and I'm gonna put it up next because it reminded me of that before I say what I'm about to say. Because what I'm about to say is that he's right. I mean, it's a meme, but it's like low-key real. It's why a lot of people move.
I'm interested to see how he describes this. Personally, no, I don't have a problem living near black people, so I disagree with Nick. With that being said, I would have a problem living with ghetto. So if you put next to me, I'm just going to be real about this. If right next to my house, you put like a family that like, they're black, African American, and then, or black Americans. I mean, the term African American is kind of weird. What does that make my son? European American? Whatever. And like on Sunday, I see them all dressed up. They're going to church. I can see the wife is a teacher. The husband is am I going to have a problem living near black people in that context? No. But if they are ghetto, yes, I don't want to live near them. And it would be a lie if I didn't say that. So to me, it's more social than ethnic in that sense. And so I would disagree with Nick with the broad statement. But then again, it's a clip. So imagine that after the end of the clip, he actually says this. Then I don't disagree with him. So at the end of the day, it's important. That's why I say it's very important to not just listen to clips if you want to be fair. Anyways, let me see how he's going to respond to that. Being black.
Because what I'm about to say is that he's right. I mean, it's a meme, but it's like low-key real. It's why a lot of people move away from the hood and like they move away from all that and they want to go in like a nice neighborhood that has less black people, because in large part, a lot of black people just don't know how to act. And it's not a pleasant experience. And before someone out there watching this video, oh my gosh, that's so racist. I mean, why would you say that? I've seen so many reels and so many jokes and TikToks of other black creators like saying the same thing, because it's real. It's recognized even within the black community.
Yeah, already someone calling him racist for saying that he, not even Nick, I'm saying him. If people call him racist because he's saying this about other black people, that's an impossibility. You cannot be racist against your own race. In fact, that's why even when it comes to white people, anyone can be racist towards anyone on the other ethnic side, right? So a black person can be racist towards white people. I don't care what progressives say. And likewise, a white person, of course, can be racist towards black people. Add Asian, add whatever you want. Everyone can be racist towards anyone. If they bring up systemic, it's nonsense. It's an excuse. It's a justification. With that being said, is a white person who hates white people and constantly speaks horribly about white people racist? No. They're traitors, but they're not racists. They're scum, but they're not racists. At least that's how I see it. And so likewise, he could say whatever the heck he wants about other black people because he's black, so it doesn't make him racist. It could make him wrong if you disagree with him. I haven't got a clue. I wasn't brought up in a black neighborhood, so I'll listen to him. In fact, if you are one of my left-wing viewers, and you're offended by what he's saying, at that point I would say, but shouldn't we listen to someone who is black and was brought up black in America and understands what it means? So no, I'm open to listening to him, whether what he's telling me about black communities is good or bad. Not everything needs to be, oh, that's offensive. Who cares? I'm here to learn from the man. So at this point, I think whatever your political position is, let's be open-minded and let's listen to the point that he's trying to draw. And that's what I would say. All right, tell us. Why is it the way it is?
Let me find this. Here's one. This one says, property value is going up when you see white people walking their dog at night.
Have a good one.
What does that entail? That entails your property value is going down when you live around black people. Let me find another one. POV, when you move to an all-white neighborhood and other black people start moving in. So yeah, it's a real thing not wanting to necessarily live near black people because we know how the culture acts and we know how it is and we know what goes down. And I know so many friends and family members who have experienced this, who've been in a nice neighborhood, then they get black neighbors and it's just a stereotypical black neighbors and it just doesn't work out. And it's real. It's relatable.
To say that every
Yeah, so I will double down on I appreciate him explaining to me this. I will double down. For me personally, is most connected to whether they are ghetto or whether they are a good family. And in fact, I don't know if we're going to speak about racial profiling as well as one of the kind of spicy topics. So I'll wait to see if that comes up. If not, I'll bring it up myself. Let's see what else Nick is going to say. Yeah. I don't think I think the points that were presented in a way that makes sense.
say that every black person is violent. It's not to say that every black person is the same way.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
But we watch the news. We read the papers. When you drive downtown in Chicago, you know who you got to look out for and worry about when you're thinking about whether you're going to get carjacked, when you're worried about catching a stray bullet, when you're worried about who's going to pull up on the side of the road and literally shove a rifle in your face and steal your iPhone or shoot you point blank, execution style, in Lincoln Park. We know who's doing it.
We know.
I don't want to live near them. I don't want to be near them. They make me nervous.
What are you supposed to say to that? Because you really can't refute anything that he said. All the most dangerous things that happened in Chicago happened at the hands of other black people. So on one end, I'm being told by liberals like, oh, Amir, the white man bad. You need to fear the white man. Black lives matter. Stick with the blacks. But if I'm looking at the hardcore experience, it's the black people making it difficult to even just exist. So again, another meme, but like the meme is like, oh, you're my real estate agent. But like, it's relatable. It's honest. It's real. It's transparent. And people gravitate towards this because there's no sugarcoating. Like, there's no bullshit with it.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Yeah, so the fact that Nick does, whatever you want to say about Nick Fuentes, he does not sugarcoat anything. And I think that is the reason why he's popular, because he's popular. There is no, whether you can hate Nick Fuentes and absolutely despise anything he says. As I say, for me, it's a case by case, but you can't refute the fact that he's popular. So I like that the approach that he has towards this, apart from the fact that he's clearly showing that he's very open-minded and he has a thick skin, but it's also the fact that he's trying to understand in an analytical way why he's popular. And he's telling us probably one of the reasons why he's popular is because basically he's the exact opposite of political correctness at this point. He doesn't care, and he just states what he thinks is the fact. When it comes to the idea of racial profiling, for me, if I'm walking down a street with my wife, and and if I see, let's imagine, a bunch of like people from the hood with the hoodies on, whatever, they look ghetto, they speak ghetto, we change road. But as I was saying, on the same note, the reason why I wouldn't necessarily make it 100% racial is because, once again, if I'm walking around and I see a lawyer with a briefcase and he's black, well-dressed, with the phone talking about business, I don't feel threatened by that man at all. So to me, it's not just an ethnic thing. It is a connection with social aspects of it. That's what I think. But then again, if you disagree, let me know. Let's continue.
No, it's not the Jews. No, it's not women. No, it's not blacks. It's actually really complicated. No, it isn't at all. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the up. Blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part. In paradise. It's that simple. It's literally that simple.
Holy shit.
Guy's a good sport,
That is my
though.
favorite clip
He's a good
I've
sport.
ever seen of that man. That is my favorite clip. It is so funny. It is so funny. And that is one of the most famous clips that's ever went around. It's one of the most quotable ones.
I don't want for black people to get in prison. Just wanted to bet that. Just the bad ones. Likewise, for whatever it is. Like, that's one of the things that I say when you say Nick is lit. Well, good for you. I'm glad you like it, Syed. I mean, I'm not going to condemn you for it. Absolutely, that's fine. You can like whoever you want. Freedom of speech, my friend. I have a problem. It's a similar situation when it comes to immigrants. I don't know, actually, the position of Nick Fuentes on immigration. Let me know if you know. But when it comes to me, I'm strongly against illegal immigration. I think illegal immigration is wrong and it should be blocked. No excuses. When it comes to legal immigration, I don't think there is anything wrong as long as it's not overdone, because if you do it too much, then, and also there have to be real parameters, like who are these people, background checks, make sure that they are here because they provide actual doctors and engineers, not these are doctors and engineers and then we have a bunch of imbeciles with machetes that scream Allah Akbar. No. Okay, I'm talking the real deal, the people that can contribute to society, or like someone is marrying someone from wherever the hell, and they do a marriage visa, and then he finds a job. I don't have a problem with that. So legal immigration is fine, but it's necessary, because if you don't immigrate through the proper channels, we can't do background checks, and so you can't distinguish, which is the key, the nutshell of what I was addressing here. We can't distinguish within the illegal immigrants which ones are really bad, rapists, murderers, violent people, and the people that are not nice, that they would be nice. Okay, but because I don't know, there's a massive question mark, I say send them all back and go through the proper channels so we can check. It's a very simple thing. But I don't think every single illegal immigrant is a murderer, or every single illegal, they're all breaking the law, every single one of them. But people that say they are all rapists, they're wrong. So likewise, I usually use this with every culture, with every situation. I look at, let's make sure that we punish the criminals and we punish them harshly. I hate it when they're like, oh no, but we need to understand. No, because mercy for the guilty is cruelty to the innocent. There you go. Mercy to the guilty is cruelty to the innocent, and that's a fact. So no, it's just nonsense when people do that. You're like, what? This illegal immigrant, he raped a 10-year-old girl, and you're still, what are we even talking about? First, he shouldn't have been there in the first place. So it's on you. He should have been out. And that's the thing. But then again, I don't want to put everyone in one basket. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth. Let's continue.
That Nick has ever done. Because again, it's funny. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the fuck up. Blacks need to be in prison for the most part. And we would live in paradise.
I mean, women need to shut up is kind of a guy's joke anyways.
And truth be told, I mean, you're allowed to have your opinion. You're allowed to think certain things. No one's preventing you from doing it. Well, a lot of people have prevented this man from doing just that. A lot of people have prevented this man for almost a decade now from using his voice, using his platform to speak, banned off of payment platforms, at one point banned from TSA. At one point, someone even tried to at his house, all for just saying things that he's allowed to say.
That's actually one thing I do, even though I have several points of disagreements with Nick Fuentes and he's a little extreme end when it comes to me. With that being said, I think it's wrong. People trying to off him, obviously, that's disgusting, and anyone would be happy about that. You are the problem. And when it comes to censorship, no. I mean, as long as he doesn't call for incitement to violence, ugly speech is protected speech. So even if something he says, let's say for a moment that maybe there is a sentence he said, oh, but it was humor, it was dark humor. Okay, humor is humor. But let's say there is a sentence he said and it's actual ugly speech. Fine, it's ugly. We can agree it's ugly. He's still allowed to say it. This is the United States of America. We don't live in freaking Saudi Arabia. And we don't live in communist USSR Russia. We don't live in fascist Italy. So he should be allowed to say it. And the problem is that I think the reason why Nick Fuentes is so popular right now, and it's kind of creating this split between America First and MAGA, is because people like Destiny and people like Hassan Hamas Spiker say outrageous stuff and they get away with it. I mean, Destiny was banned from Twitch, but he still makes huge amounts of money. And Hamas Spiker can say whatever he wants and no one touches him on Twitch, and he's in fact he's Twitch golden boy. So my problem is, and it's not just my problem, but the problem is that not only we see a massive double standard, it's either everyone can use ugly speech or we block everyone, but then it's not whataboutism. It's perfectly fitting. It's perfectly fitting because they're canceling him, but I didn't hear him say let's go shoot every liberal. But Hamas Spiker said, let's go shoot every conservative. And Hamas Spiker is not getting cancelled. He's getting invited. They pay him a lot of money. It's absolutely not whataboutism. And if you think it's whataboutism, go Google the definition. It is not. It's perfectly, and I'm explaining to you why people are... If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth. Connecting to this guy. They are connecting to Nick because they see that this is happening, and then they see people on the right that have been continuously saying we are against cancel culture, we're against censorship, we are pro First Amendment, but then they say cancel him. It's hypocritical at that point. It's hypocritical at that point, and so hypocrisy doesn't help. It just doesn't help. It's why Pam Bondi, I made an entire video against Pam Bondi. In theory, we should be on the same side. I'm a right-winger. She's a right-winger. I think she's out of her damn mind when she said, oh, people that laugh at Charlie Kirk's death, we're going to send boots on the ground, FBI, kick in your door. Are you out of your mind? If they are calling for violence, yes. But just because they are using ugly speech, you can't have government involvement. The only thing that I think is fair in that at that point is that private entities, such an employer, finds out, oh, the person I've employed is laughing at Charlie Kirk's death. I don't want him in the workforce. That's fine. But government intervention, this is not what the USA is about. That's what I think. As you see today, we're kind of jumping between historical topics, political topics, just as an answer, a response to those who say, oh, is this just a grift channel now? No, it's a freedom channel because we love freedom here. So, yeah.
Especially like critiquing Israel, you're allowed to do that. I'm sorry. If Ben Shapiro can go on college campuses and go on tours just ripping and railing about the black community, then Nick Fuentes can do the same thing, ripping and railing about the Jewish community. It's fair game. It's free speech and it's fair game.
He's right.
I'm not mad at it. I'm living in this country with free speech. That means free speech. Therefore, that includes a speech that I may not like or that I may find offensive, and that's...
I like him.
Cool. That's what I sign up for. Because the second we start mandating speech and well, we can't say this, we can't say that, who controls that? Who puts who has that control to say, well, you can say this and you can't say that? Because there's a lot of things that people find offended that other people don't. The same people talking about, oh my gosh, the right is so racist and misogynistic and homophobic and transphobic. Okay, well then why are there Republican trannies, Republican gay people, Republican black people, and Republican women?
Yeah, I think it's a fringe in the right that is actually those things because, to be honest, I get that myself. Believe it or not, I do get the occasional guy on Twitter that whenever I speak about something and then we clearly both on the right, he's probably a lot more right than me, but then he comes and tells me, you're Sicilian, adds an insult and says, you'll never be an American, we don't want you here, go back to your country. And I'm like, you do realize that I'm literally your grandfather, you absolute imbecile? Like, I'm a European who's relocating to America, I'm your grandfather. Anyways. Yeah, There is a fringe in the right that is homophobic, racist, transphobic, and all that stuff. Problem is that what the left does is that usually they take that, they turn it into a blob, and whether you be like a moderate conservative, whether you be a right-winger in general, whether you be far-right, alt-right, MAGA, non-MAGA, libertarian with right-wing ideas, everyone is racist and homophobic. And that's a very dishonest thing to do. But it is true that some people are like that, absolutely. Yeah. So there is that. Wrong European, Anglos as his grandparents, not Italians. Maybe, you know, it will surprise you. Some of these, they are all about, the Benjamin Franklin idea on who is white and who is not. Then you look and their grandfather's name is like Esposito. Please.
Who controls what? And that's the problem with the censorship. It's the things like this, it's the quotable stuff and how just like raw this man is, and that makes him so relatable and just real and funny to a lot of people out there. Like a lot. People underestimate how much power this man has and how much pull and how many like followers he gets. I genuinely feel like you ask the average man under like 30, I'll go 35 and under, who Nick Fuentes is, they know, because they're tapped in, and a lot of people understand his language. Even when like you do a deep dive like we're doing this video and we're watching the clips, you can see when he's being like serious, when he's being soft, when he's being funny, when he's being memey, because it's meme culture. And we're gonna see throughout this video what a meme is, what it isn't, when he's being serious, when he's not. So like I said, we'll get into that later, but what we do know is not meme culture is life when real shit happens, especially if you get injured. But thankfully,
okay, maybe that's one thing that I'm struggling with and he's good at. I sometimes struggle to understand, is that a meme that I'm not aware of because I'm not consistently online? Is that a joke, maybe a misunderstanding? Or is that serious talk? I think sometimes I'm not very good at figuring that one out, also because when it comes to meme, there are so many things that I hear and I'm like, I haven't got a clue what that means. I guess I spend too much time with the ancient sources to understand modern internet memes. Same? Okay, you can relate? Great. So, yeah, I do have a channel that is only history, by the way. I gave the link earlier on during the stream, but I can... This, as I say, is a variety channel. I speak about anything. The beginning of the stream was all about Roman history, by the way, which will be posted as its own, edited as its own video. But if you just want history, there is this. Metatron history, only history videos. I post a lot. And so it's always there as an option. If you are like, nah, but I miss your history videos. And maybe the next one will be in 5 uploads. Fine, you can check out this video, this channel. I made it for you guys. This channel exists for you, 100%. Just made it with you guys in mind because I listen to your ideas, your opinions, and want to make sure that you. Okay, is this a sponsor now? Let's have a look. We all support you, Metatron. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate that. Okay, let's continue because again, I like this guy.
If you do, you can check out Morgan & Morgan, America's largest legal law firm. Everything is free unless you win your case, which that alone blows my mind. But 2, their lawyers, they don't play. Someone got offered $20,000, but after they started working with Morgan & Morgan, they got $120 million. This person right here got offered $16,000 pre-trial, but after working with Morgan & Morgan, they said, nah, I'm gonna need you to add a couple zeros to that. And I get it. A lot of us haven't had to go through something like this, but we all know fighting a big company means having a big law firm by your side. And if you end up working with Morgan & Morgan, they will fight to get you every penny that you deserve. It only takes a few minutes to see if you have a case. You can do that by going to forthepeople.com/Amir. As you see here, you can receive your free case evaluation on a multitude of case types. And remember, when you hire Morgan & Morgan, you're not hiring just a lawyer, you're getting a dedicated legal team. Case investigators, paralegals, and a customer case specialist, all focus on maximizing your settlement. So if you ever got seriously injured, or I hope you're okay.
Yeah, Morgan is huge. I know, even I know of them. It's crazy. Good for you, man. Good for you that he got sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. I'm glad when money goes to good people, and this guy seems pretty cool, very chill.
You're injured right now, do know that your case could be worth millions, and you're only a few clicks away from finding out and changing your life forever. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan by going to forthepeople.com/Amir, or scanning the QR code here on the screen, or tapping the link below. Morgan & Morgan,
Amir.
America's largest injury law firm.
Click it.
Elmhurst McDonald's at like 2 a.m. and it was straight up a non-verbal Hispanic that didn't speak English. And that's exactly what it sounded like. It was like, and I was like, are you kidding me? I just had to kind of go with it. I was like, yeah, number 1 with a Diet Coke and 5-piece McNuggets. Okay, thanks a lot. See you at the next window. That's what it was. And I was like, okay, so we're fucked. And we're fucked.
You guys, you don't understand. Like, this is a meme, but this is more the funny side, but real. Like this, when I'm watching this, it's like I'm talking to my bros on Discord. It's like I'm talking to my good friends. It's so funny and relatable because listen, nothing irritates me more than being in this country and you don't know a lick of English.
Absolutely. I mean, he's right. This is America. You need to learn English. I know it's not easy. I went through it. You know what I mean? I did do the thing where I was brought up with another language and I decided, you know what? How do they say it? It's a matter of respect. It's not just a matter of professionalism, as I guess I agree with Nick in this situation. In a professional environment, it is unbelievable that we live in America and you have someone who doesn't speak English. You have to, at least the McDonald's English. You don't need to be able to explain to me astronomy, but you need to explain to me French fries and ketchup or mustard, sir. As a Mexican, I agree. I love that. I love that in chat right now. That's what I mean. I love when people are good sports, by the way. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And thank you for writing it in English, by the way. Because this is America. I mean, if I moved to Mexico City, I would speak Spanish. Absolutely. I would be like, hey, how do you say? ¿Cómo estás? Buenos días. That's what I would do. So, yeah, that's correct. And yeah, in America, you got to learn English. You've got to put in the work. 1, for respect. 2, for professionalism. And it is what it is.
Why the hell you here? See, I'm about to crash out. I can't go to Paris and expect somebody to speak English. I can't go to Tokyo, Japan and expect them to go from Hakinakura to like English for me. No. I feel like if you're working somewhere, you should be speaking the native language of the town, of the country that you're in. Like, there was one time I went to Miami. I was so mad. I was in Miami, which granted, I know it's Miami, but I was like in Brickell. I was like downtown in the area. And I don't know what ice cream shop I was at, but I was at this ice cream shop and no one knew a lick of English. No one. And they were looking at me like I was the problem. And I'm sorry, I'm in America. Yeah. Why are we not knowing English? This happens so much. It happens so much. That's why this is relatable and it's funny because it happens to a lot of people. I ordered DoorDash and this had the audacity to call me talking about he lost. Well, he didn't say he was lost, but I could tell it was like you couldn't hear. There was no English, but he was lost. Probably because you can't read street signs. And how you gonna call me asking for directions and you don't know a lick of English? Now I paid for this food. I'm hungry. I want my chicken and it can't get to my house because you don't know English? Because you're in America? And you...
He's right. It is what it
enrages me. Like Nick said, it's just countries. Like that was one of the most like, ooh, there was another one.
Before the other one, because I'm actually enjoying the storytelling here, but because he's very charismatic. Yeah, no, I mean, it should be a requirement for employment. B1, at least, in English, certified. It should be a requirement for employment for a lot of jobs, unless you are like washing dishes, I guess, or if you are like doing a lot of blue-collar jobs. For white-collar jobs, let's not even talk. But for blue-collar jobs, I think it depends. Because you could be really skilled, right? You know, I respect people that do blue-collar jobs, by the way. Because maybe you're like moving things around, and you're operating technical machinery. If you're doing a good job, you're doing a good job. But if it's anything that has to do with customer interaction, B1, if not B2, certified English, it should be an absolute requirement in America. In America. Could you imagine, like, going to Italy, you don't speak Italian, you're not going to be employed anywhere.
Oh my gosh, there's another one. This was back
this was
early on. This was back in, this was 2019. This was, this was July 2019. July 2019, I was in San Francisco. And I was going to the hotel that was next to SFO. So I'm in my Uber. Buddy knew not a lick of English. All Spanish. Hola. I'm like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Like, I know a little bit, like un poquito español, but not a lot. But I'm in the Uber and he dropped me off at the airport and I'm trying to tell him, no, look at your GPS, look at the phone. Like, I'm in the hotel next to the airport, but he didn't know English, so I had to flag somebody off the side of the road. I'm sorry. If you are in a business in America, you are in America, you should at least know English. If you want to speak to Spanish to somebody, Go for it. Somebody else in that restaurant speaking Spanish and y'all speaking Spanish, that's cool. But I feel like if we're in America, there should be a basis of what America is, at the bare minimum, a shared language. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm open.
That's actually normal everywhere. That's normal everywhere. Even chat is saying 100%. Yeah, because that's normal. Like you go anywhere you go. When I was in Japan, I spoke, yeah, it is employers' fault, you're right, but it's also political. I'm just going to say it. It's also DEI fault, if we are really going to go into it, because you're putting ethnicity above competence in a lot of scenarios as a sort of hiring requirement, which is a problem. It should be meritocratic. It should be meritocratic. It is what it is. With that being said, I agree with him. When I was in Japan and I entered a bank, it's not like I could use English. I had to say, こんにちは, すいません, ちょっと質問がありますけれども. And I understand, like, not everyone is a linguist, fine. But then maybe there are jobs that you can't do. It's like there are jobs that I can't do. I don't know. I'm very interested in programming, but I can't do that job. Why? Because I don't know the programming language. It would be like making me into a programmer if I don't know freaking, I don't know, C++ or Python. I don't know that, so I can't do that job. So there are a lot of jobs where, particularly when it comes to customer interaction, you need to know the language. I'm sorry, this is America. At this point, I agree with him. And I liked when he said, as a foreigner who lives in America, I liked when he said, maybe people are speaking to each other in Spanish. Cool, that's cool. But if you are in a professional environment, you need to know English. Otherwise, okay. This shows that he is open-minded, because there are people that say this is America, meaning you cannot use your own language. But I mean, if my cousin comes to visit me and he doesn't speak English, I need to be able to speak Italian to him, not as a way to sort of exclude you from the conversation. Although then again, if I don't know you, yeah, I mean, it's not none of your business anyways. And I will be polite and translate when it's a situation where I think you are also there, we're sitting around, it's different. But there are people, and objectively they are in England as well, not just an American thing. In England, that happened, that sometimes maybe you use a little Italian or you use a little French, and then the English are like, this is England, we speak English here, fine, I'm not speaking to you. With that being said, so he's clearly not that category, that type of person, but he is just saying this is right. Like, if it's a professional environment and I'm ordering my damn chicken, you need to speak English. I agree with him 100%.
Open for, like, in that airport, having all the different languages, sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
But again, if we are in America and you are doing business in America and you don't know English, that's a problem. You need to be paying your taxes and you need like a English test. We need something.
I agree.
Because their country's just gone. What is a country anymore? Come on, what is a country anymore? Because you know what? You travel to Italy because you know what to expect. You know in your head what you envision Italy to be. If you right now book a flight to Italy and you land in Japan or Tokyo, you're going to be salty because it's not what you expected. You expected Italy because Italy is a country. Italy has its culture. Italy is Italy.
Yeah.
So why is that fine? But it's not fine to have that same expectation for America when we're actively losing America before our eyes. It would be confusing and it would be upsetting, which I'm sure it's happening now. But if I go to Paris and instead of oui, want a baguette, it's like, I don't even know what language. Like Africans click-clacking and we got Palestinians or whatever, like doing the 5 a.m. calls to prayer in Paris. It's like, to a certain point, it's okay to call out when it's expected for a country to have a culture.
Yeah, and also I think, so what he's now addressing is multiculturalism. And the thing is that what I find strange sometimes is that for some reasons the West is the only place on the planet that is expected to be multicultural anyways, because I don't see people expecting Saudi Arabia to also have Christianity as well as Islam, as well as Buddhism, as well as Western ideas, as well as Western cars, as well as Western concepts so that everyone needs to speak English. I don't see people expecting that of the Near East, expecting that of the Far East, expecting that of Africa. For some reasons, it's only the West that needs to be multicultural. And then again, I do like a certain aspect of multiculturalism in the sense that when they are good people, I enjoy speaking to people that come from all over. But I don't enjoy justifying people that hate us, everything we believe, our culture, do not assimilate, do not learn anything, don't speak the language, come here and, if you hate the West, stay out of the West at that point. And that's the same with immigration. No one has ever could you even Google a single individual who has advocated for no boundaries and free flow of people and pro illegal immigration in Congo, in Tunisia, I don't know, in Iraq? It's always the West. Everyone else, oh no, that's fine, sovereign individuals, of course, you've got because every country has immigration law, but it's only the Pope is here telling us, oh, it's so bad, you need to love the immigrants, you need to love everyone, says the Pope, behind his, how many meters, 12 meters, 15 meters tall walls around the Vatican.
And I'm sorry, I expect people here working in America to know English. That's just where I'm at.
That's the new thing they're doing. So not, I don't know. I think it's just over at this point. The guy didn't even speak English. He just looked at me. I pulled up to the window and he was just like, he was wearing a t-shirt, wasn't even in the uniform, no visor. Didn't have the McDonald's visor, no red shirt, just wearing a t-shirt. Nonverbal, didn't even say, he's just like, took the payment, gave me the food. I was like, okay.
Yo. He's funny. Like, I haven't seen a lot of this. This is so, it feels like I'm just chatting with a bro. It feels like, and I think that's why he's so relatable to so many people out there. And people just get it because on one end, he's talking politics, but this feels like I get that this is like a story time with his bros. That's it. It's a story time with his bros, and it's funny as shit.
Anyone that has any genuine racial hatred, we have to just say there's something wrong with you. I understand not wanting to live around black people.
Valid.
I get it. And I understand when you see what black people do, some of them, I understand hating that. But this whole like autistic racial, like actual racialism, actual racial militant hatred, it is like a freak show.
I appreciate that. I agree with that.
No.
Well, here's the thing, though. So again, I don't know. I don't judge people until I investigate them thoroughly. So I need to investigate Nick Fuentes more thoroughly because, to be honest, for what I've watched of Destiny, I've watched like a 15th of Nick Fuentes. So I need to keep investigating. But what you're telling me here is, let me see. Everyone is accused of being anti-Semitic these days anyways. Everyone. Honestly genuinely did not expect that from Nick Fuentes. Me neither, for the way he's been depicted. So I agree with what he said now. I do. But look, Nick Fuentes is a race realist. He thinks black people are not even people and shouldn't have rights. What is this guy doing praising him? Okay, but that's what you say. But what I just heard from Nick Fuentes is that racism is wrong. So who am I to believe? That's the situation. And then again, I like him. I like that he's very open-minded. And I have disagreed with some of the things Nick Fuentes said when it comes to racial profiling a minute ago. But what he just said now doesn't sound racist to me. So it is a little confusing, isn't it? So I would say at that point, maybe let's continue to watch and see what we can figure out.
Because that comes from an emotional place. It is one thing to say that, like, there are whites and blacks, and black people clearly are not on our level of development, and that's why they're struggling. That's why they're not integrating well, and that's why there are these problems. Like, it's one thing to say that clinically.
I wonder what he means by level of development. So I would have to go, like, does he mean, if he means technological or like as civilizations, then he's correct. The West is clearly at a higher level. But when it comes to, I don't know if he's one of those that talk about genetics, though, because that could be a little, we'll have to see. I don't know. I can't understand it from this clip. I would ask him that question, by the way, directly. Is it a matter of education? Is it because education is connected to average income? So there's that. And also, one more thing. People often speak about black people and white people, but only in the American context. maybe we should kind of expand that a little bit. But let's continue. You say he's talking about racial cultures. The race isn't the problem, rather the culture. Yeah, that I can see. And then again, even in Asia, you have some Asian countries like Japan, extremely forward. But then you have other countries, it's like it's a mess. Like India is a mess. It is. Not all of India is the same, I understand. I know my cousin was born in India. She speaks the language. She has explained to me that like India is massive. So when you say a broad statement about India, you have to consider that that might apply to a still large region, but maybe not to another region. I understand, but it is a mess. In general, I'm speaking broadly, but India is a mess. Japan is like the freaking Germany of Asia. So it kind of depends. Let's continue.
And it's one thing to see what they do and get frustrated by it and get angry about it. It's a whole other thing to have this like persistent like antipathy for vast groups of people.
Agreed.
That is just like a low IQ, a dysfunctional thing.
And this is when we know he's being honest and real. This is a clear representation of his opinions on actual racism. There's a difference in like telling racist jokes with your bros or like making generalizations like he's saying, but there's another to like actually like vehemently hate black people, which we know he doesn't, as he's someone whose biggest inspiration is a black man, formerly known as Kanye West, worked with him, went around the world with him. Like, we know he doesn't actually like hate black people, but that like it's different. There's a lot of nuance, there's context.
Yeah, so when it comes to this, to what I just listened right now, of course I don't know if he means it or not because I'm not in his head, but let's say for a moment that I'm going to take it at face value. By the context of what has been explained up to this point, I wouldn't call him a racist. Would I call him a Nazi though? Well, that's the thing. He did say he's Team Hitler. He did say that he thinks Hitler was cool. So is he not a neo-Nazi at that point? And I wouldn't use it the way the left does to be like, oh, he's a Nazi, so cancel him. No, I would say he's a Nazi, so I disagree. Because I can't stand Nazism. Although then again, he did say that he admires Stalin. So does that make him a communist as well? Can he be both a communist and a Nazi at the same time? I don't know. You'll have to explain that to me. Yeah, I know he says that about Stalin exactly, which is another. I hate Stalin. I think Stalin was an absolute monster. If Nick gained power, it'd be a authoritarian fascist. I don't know. How authoritarian is he? We'll have to see because... Again, I want to see it, maybe. Although everyone is a fascist these days, me included, apparently. So who knows? I don't know. Is he appropriate to call him a Nazi? For me, yes. Because he did say what he said. But I will ask him at this point. I would ask him, like, hey, Nick, are you a neo-Nazi? See what he says. That's what I would say. But when it comes to calling him a racist, if we are to take this in good faith, he doesn't sound like a racist to me. It sounds like an edgelord at this point. And I can still disagree with some of his positions on black people, as I did, but I wouldn't call him a racist.
Because to say like, oh, don't put me near black people, I don't want to live near black people. When I hear that, hello, as a black man, I don't immediately think racist. I immediately think they see what it's like for the average person living next to a black person.
That's probably you,
and
though.
For a lot of people,
because you're very open-minded.
It's not a good time. So that's that. But it's examples like that where you just know. You can just tell when he's being for real, when he's not. And this is a clip that I have seen, and it's like, yeah, he's spot on with that. Let's just see what else he has to say about this.
Okay. And everything, oh, well, but that doesn't make you mad. It's like, yeah, it makes me mad. I'm not filled with like racial hatred for an entire group.
Okay.
Even the Jews, as much as justified as it would be. No. But even like I do actually like a lot of Jewish people. Like I even though Jewish people have ruined my life in many ways and like they do horrible things, I don't have a hatred for them as a group, and I could say nice things about them, you know? But that comes from being a Christian. That's the kind of peace and that's the kind of disposition that you can only have if you love God, if you truly have love in your heart for people. And it's no coincidence. It's always these pagans that harbor this intense animosity all the time.
Which to that point, and this is something I have seen, especially after the passing of Charlie Kirk. If I'm just looking at my life and all the people that I know and like friends of friends, I'm looking at like a big map of like political leanings and like how they're like moral goodness. Most of my friends who are agnostic, who are open to the idea of a God or just doesn't know or believes in a God or a higher power or afterlife, they're more often good people. They just are. And when I think about the people that I know in my life that are atheist or really close with atheists, just there's no God or like even going down a satanic route, they just have no care. They're just mean-spirited people.
I mean, not every atheist. I think with atheists, I can't stand the 2012 r/redditor type of person that thinks that I don't know what the heck happened in their lives, but they really have animosity and hatred towards us Christians. Yeah, I can't, like when I meet one of those, it's immediate block. But then again, I know a lot of atheists that are they would make really good Christians. I'm just going to say it. So with atheists, it's kind of a case by case. With agnostics, not sure. Pagans, I got a pagan friend. Is that like the new way? Do you know how when you say I've got a black friend or I got a gay friend and they tell you, no, that's what racists say? I wonder if what would that be? Like, I've got a pagan friend. Is that what Christian nationalists say at this point?
Very mean. And that's something that's real and relatable too. And like, even he said he doesn't hate all Jewish people, but he has a certain love in his heart for everybody. It's just when we bring in the nuances, when we bring in the understanding, we can sit and actually have like a real conversation. And again, it's ones like these that I have all the time with all my guy friends. It's just blunt.
That was insane, dude. Brett Cooper comes out and says, go back to Israel. Go back to Israel where you belong. I was like, whoa, Brett. I was like, Brett. I put my hair behind my ear like Radio Rebel. I was like, Brett, oh my goodness. I was like, she's really good. I was like, I did the Allison Stoner from Camp.
I imagine this is about Ben Shapiro, isn't it? Maybe it's about Ben Shapiro. This dude sounds gay. Not saying that he is, but he sounds like it. Who? Amir? I think he is gay, yeah. I think. I don't know. But anyways, that's 20 minutes in. It's a 58-minute video, guys. So for the reaction, I'm going to leave it at that. But I enjoyed his reaction. I like him a lot. And I definitely have to look more into Nick Fuentes to really understand how much of his ideology, like exactly what the heck this guy believes. Because it's so difficult to figure it out. I kind of want to see that. Anyways, I'll give you a link to the original video if you want to keep watching it on your own. But I want to thank Amir Odom for being very open-minded, for explaining to us. I did appreciate the section when he was explaining to us about like the way other Black Americans feel about living in these areas that are kind of low. Maybe low class, is that an expression? I'm not sure. But I liked that they explained stuff to us, and I have to say, this was a very interesting video to watch. Definitely have to keep watching